I've been researching and campaigning for young carers since 1992. So it's now 25 years. This is my 25th anniversary of researching and campaigning for young carers. It all started by chance in 1992 when I took on my first research project called Children Who Care Inside the World of Young Carers, which was an exploration in Nottingham of the experiences of a dozen young carers. And 25 years on, I've conducted literally dozens of research projects at a number of universities. I've worked with fantastic research collaborators in this country and abroad, and I've been very privileged to work with young carers, projects and providers and policymakers and social workers and healthcare workers and teachers in the UK and internationally to try and, if you like, bring greater awareness to wider publics and professional publics about the experiences and needs of young carers, but also to, if you like, advocate for change, for legal change that gives children who are carers specific rights and for the development of services. So we've seen some fantastic progress in the last 25 years in terms of the recognition, awareness and the support of young carers in the United Kingdom. Now that's all very good, it's all very positive. We've seen a massive growth of young carers projects, but unfortunately it's not been matched commensurately with the numbers of young carers receiving support. So whilst we have got a development of services, still, most young carers in the United Kingdom have not had an assessment of their needs, of their ability to provide care, nor do they receive any dedicated services through young carers projects or other interventions. So massive advances, but still so much more to do in terms of ensuring that as many young carers as possible get the support that they need. In the UK, I'd certainly like to see far more young carers receive proper assessments of their needs, of their ability to provide care, and the appropriate services that would go with those assessments to meet those needs. So, you know, we really need to up our game in terms of getting greater numbers of young carers into assessments and into the receipt of sensitive and appropriate services that support them. I'd also like to see over the next 5 to 10 years far greater international awareness of young carers. So whilst we have developments in around 15 to 20 countries which are developing initiatives, the vast majority of countries in the world have no realisation, awareness or recognition of young carers in their midst. And I think that needs protracted and dedicated work by people like myself and others in terms of promoting the needs of young carers globally, internationally, etc. Young carers are a critical group for us to be concerned about and to do research on, but also to campaign for, because young carers are young citizens, and as young citizens they are our collective future. So as children and young people, what happens to them will be reflected later on in who they become as adults, but also who they become as adult citizens and the contributions that they make as adults to our collective lives, to our society, to our economy, to our world. And so I think supporting young carers, protecting them, enabling them, giving them the best opportunities now through good education, through services, through support, is an investment in our collective and shared futures, as well as empowering young people to have the best lives that they can have. My particular interest in young carers is because also as a child I was a young carer, and I lived with a grandmother and my mother, but my grandmother had Parkinson's disease, so a lot of my childhood was spent supporting my mother in the care of the grandmother. So I have a personal interest as well as an academic interest, but also as a social scientist I have an interest in not just knowing about young carers and researching about them, but in trying to improve their lives, to try and make things better for them and for future generations of young carers. So it's, for me, not just an academic and professional activity, it is a personal passion.